Hey guys, my name is Gravity Owns, and this is the first episode of OrbusTalk, a podcast where I discuss the game of Orbus VR Reborn and how playing it can benefit your overall life. I have been playing virtual reality for years now, and have been playing Orbus VR for most of that time. During my time in the game, I have progressed to being one of only 20 people in the entire game who are capable of defeating the hardest boss. In this episode of Orbus Talk, I want to discuss what Orbus even is, how do you play the game as a complete beginner, and why you should play the game, as well as tricks to the game when you hit level cap. There are a lot of advantages to playing games in VR, and I want to help my listeners understand the benefits, possibly learn a new skill, and make friends. So relax and join me in this wonderful world of virtual reality and undergo an immersive experience that you cannot have anywhere else.
I want to invite you all to the grand opening of Good Pets Limited, the best new pet store around. If you're bored with the typical pets of cats or goldfish,
Yuck!
you need to come to Good Pets Limited for a new kind of animal pal. Squirrels, tadpoles, trout, earthworms. No ordinary parrots or dogs here.
No, we had that dog that one time we found at the park.
Oh yeah, okay, shut up. We don't find all these animals at the park. Come get your new good pet at Good Pets Limited.
Welcome back. My name is Gravity Owns, and you're listening to Orbus Talk. I got heavily into virtual reality gaming a few years back, when the Oculus first came out with the Rift. I wanted something that would help my depression and maybe gain a bit of muscle or lose some fat in the process of having fun. Beat Saber seemed like the best game in the world at the time. It had everything you needed: music, interactive playstyle, and you can get your name on that leaderboard. This was fun for a while, but it got boring and repetitive really quickly. I ended up looking for other games to play that would keep my attention, and this is when I found Orbus VR Reborn. So what exactly is Orbus VR Reborn? Orbus VR is a VR MMO RPG, the first MMO RPG ever created for virtual reality. If you don't know what an MMO RPG is, it's a massively multiplayer online role-playing game. But this game is made specifically for virtual reality devices. Orbus VR Reborn is available on Steam, Oculus, and Index, so it doesn't matter if your friends don't play on the same system you do. Orbus lets the player immerse yourself in a fantasy world with other players, and together you can defeat enemies, do quests, or fight each other in player versus player combat. Sounds fun, right? In order to play Orbus VR, you need to own a virtual reality device and purchase the game. Once you have done that, you can begin your experience in the game and start having fun. Orbus is a game where the player base is vast. You can log in and find players of all ages in the community. The fact that the game is fun, interactive, and engaging keeps the attention of those young and old. In Orbus, you are not stuck playing only one class. You are allowed to play multiple classes on the same character. This means you don't have to make multiple characters to play each class. This is a unique feature to the game that a lot of players love. You can choose from classes like Mage, Paladin, Shaman, Scoundrel, and more. There are 8 total classes. This gives the player flexibility when playing the game, allowing the player to pick and choose what class should be played in any situation. So don't stress too much about what weapon you pick in the beginning. You can always choose another one after you've made your character. When we come back from our next commercial break, I want to talk to you guys about the benefits of playing the game, so stay tuned.
I enjoyed my appointment with Discount Dentist. I went in with major pain and left with none. In fact, I have no feeling at all. My gums won't stop bleeding for some reason. Let me just look at... Oh my god. My tooth is gone. They took my tooth. What have I done? Discount Dentist. You get what you pay for.
Thank you for staying tuned in. My name is Gravity Owns, and you're listening to Orbus Talk. So why would you want to play Orbus VR Reborn? What makes this game so enticing to new players? What makes its large community of veteran players keep playing day after day? Even though Orbus is a very social game, you don't have to play with people. So if you're not a social butterfly, don't worry. There are things in the game for you as well. But to fully experience all aspects of the game, you need to meet people that you enjoy playing the game with. This is not a hard ask because of how friendly the player base is. Experienced players often go up to new players and give them dragon pets and advice. This is one way that new players can get to know people that already know how to play the game and get the help that they need. The community of Orbus is so welcoming that it actually catches you off guard the first time you start talking to people. Longtime players in the community are extremely helpful and willing to go out of their way to help someone who doesn't know how to play the game yet. The player base of Orbus wants anyone who plays the game to have fun and enjoy their play experience. It won't be very hard to find a group of people who are doing the exact same thing you are and want to do it as a team instead of soloing it. Orbus is also a very active game. Depending on what class you pick, you are required to do certain physical activities to play that class. Of course, I'm biased and secretly love my paladin, but man, it's a lot of arm work. They give you a hammer, you hit the enemy with it, and you keep your arm up for hours on end, and it takes it out on you, but in a good way. Even though I switched my main class to become a bard, you still feel like you're rebuilding muscles that you haven't been able to use since you were little. At first, I felt like I was raising my hand for the teacher again, but when a veteran player gave me tips on how to play the class correctly, I was in a lot less pain. Plus, playing the game for hours and hours helped. I know it sounds like I'm reading from a textbook sometimes, but this game has truly changed my perspective in life. When I first started playing Orbus, I was very shy and introverted. I didn't want to play with anyone except my wife. That worked for a while, but after a bit, I kept seeing the veteran players with the cool-looking armor, and I wanted to have what they had, and it made me kind of jealous. So I took the risk and started to talk to people, asking questions about the game, and within no time, I am now considered one of those veteran players with the cool armor. So I'm paying it forward and using my outlet to help new players and even the veteran players who want to know more about the mechanics of the game. If you like what you're listening to, you can take this time to subscribe to my podcast and support me on my journey, and together we can learn from each other.
Happy birthday, girl. Got you a card.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Another year older, oh, watch the time fly. Seems we were kids yesterday, but soon we'll all die. Okay? You're my best friend forever. I love you the most. Celebrate for today because death is so close. Oh my god, is this a Hallmark greeting card?
No, it's a Hallmark degrading card. Happy birthday, Clara. Hallmark degrading cards. For when you really kind of hate your friends.
Thank you for staying tuned in. My name is Gravity Owns, and you're listening to OrbusTalk. So you have a VR headset, and you own the game. Now what? It's time for you to make your first character. The game gives you a lot of customization options for your character's face and hair, but don't be alarmed that you don't have feet. Okay, you've made your first character. You've pressed the login button, and now you have entered the wonderful world of Orbus. You are spawned into a small graveyard with little red mushrooms on the ground. This is where your Orbus adventure starts. Here, you will see other players running about, having fun, and a few NPCs or non-player characters. The first thing you should do after logging in is to check your inventory by pressing the menu button on your controller. In your inventory, you will find a teleporter and a harvesting scythe. If you bring your hand up and hover over an item in your inventory, you can select it with the trigger button and bring it over to your belt on the other screen. This equips that item and is now available for you to use. Close out of your inventory, and now you can look at your side and grab your harvester. This is a tool that you can use to collect items from around the world. Now that you have equipped your harvester scythe, you can walk over to Randall, the NPC, and wave to him. Waving to an NPC allows the player to initiate quests or bring up their store menu. Randall will give you your first quest, which is collecting 2 red mushrooms that can be found where you spawned in the game. You grab your harvester scythe from your side belt, and you collect the red truffle mushrooms by hitting the mushrooms with the end of your harvester scythe. Once you have 2 red truffle mushrooms in your inventory, you can return to Randall, wave at him, and complete the quest. Congratulations, you just finished your first quest. After this, you can follow the giant red arrows pointing you in the direction that you need to go to finish the rest of the tutorial quest. The world of Orbus is very large and the people who play are very friendly, so don't be afraid to ask someone for help. At the end of the day, how you play is up to you, but there will always be something for you to do in the game. You just need to pick up the device and start your journey. We will be right back after this.
Hey ladies, are you sick of the never-ending cycle of bad dates brought on by the plethora of dating sites out there? Feeling scared knowing that your dreadful one-night stand now knows where you live until you move away? Then you need to check out our new app, where the people you're matched up with will never see where you live. You need InDate, the dating app that matches you up with real-life prison inmates. Plenty of fish, more like plenty of flops. With InDate, each inmate and app-using suitor is given an in-depth questionnaire to make the most accurate matches based on preferences, interests, and apathy. Okay, Cupid? More like, no way, stupid. The user interface makes it easy and fun to sort inmates by crime, time, and everything in between. So if you like frustrated pen pals, occasional timed visits, and no physical contact, and I know you do, ladies, then you'll love InDate. Get yourself a life sentence of love with InDate.
Welcome back. This is Gravity Owns, and you're listening to OrbusTalk. In our next episode, we'll discuss how to run your first dungeon, some basic game mechanics, and what endgame players do for fun. Orbus is a great place to express yourself and make friends. Don't be afraid to take the plunge into virtual reality. I could never express the true awesomeness of playing virtual reality games with my words, but just know, when you try it for yourself, you will realize how much fun it can be, while also getting a taste of how playing VR games can benefit both your mind and your body. That's it for today's episode of Orbus Talk. I really appreciate you listening until the end. My name is Gravity Owns, and I have been your host today. I hope to see you next time, and as my friend Mishka says, happy hunting.